I hope everyone is okay by recording this. As I was saying, this is supposed to be an opportunity for you guys to get to know each other. You are all coming as new students in the program. An opportunity for us to know about you, for you to know about us, for you to know about the program, and for you to ask any questions you may have. I'm hopeful that we will have some time at the end for questions and answers, but again, feel free to ask as they come to your mind, either verbally or you use the chat, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Let's go to the agenda. So this is what we're gonna go through today. I would love it to go around and give you a chance to introduce yourself. It's not a small group, so I'm gonna ask that we take about a minute or two just to keep us on track. We are gonna talk about some academic expectations that we have as a program. We're gonna share some program information that you have probably already heard from me, some program resources, and then Emma and hopefully Dan will tell you about their experience as a students. And hopefully there will be some more opportunities for questions at the end. So let's go. These are some questions, and I'm happy to go first. And I'll be calling you in some kind of order. I always make a big mess. I forget people. I ask people twice, so you bear with me. But let's do it. Pilar, I'm Pilar. I'm originally from Spain. You probably know from my accent, but I've lived in many countries for many years. I've been in Colorado. I actually live in Boulder, not far from away from campus. I've been with the University of Colorado for the last 7-8 years, and with the program pretty much with the outdoor recreation economy program pretty much since it went live. And my background is JD, which I didn't like much, and MBA, which I liked a bit more. I like the outdoors. My favorite outdoor activity is really anything related to water. I love diving, snorkeling, swimming. Kayaking is, kayaking is something that I would love to get into. And for winter, I like snowshoeing and hiking, and I am excited to get into cross-country skiing, hopefully. So let's go to maybe Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric Mordhorst. I live in Taos, New Mexico. I'm from Idaho originally, but I've been here for the last 15 years. I'm a river guide on the Rio Grande and Rio Chama, and a ski instructor at Taos Ski Valley. And those are my two main passions, basically snow and water. And I'm just looking to further my career and excited about being part of the program. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Eric. Kendra, do you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Kendra. I'm calling in from Alexandria, Virginia. My educational background is actually animal science and sustainable ag, and my master's is ag economics, international development. I am in this program because it's finally time for career change to get out of sales, which was like slowly killing me, and back to something I enjoy doing, which is just being outside. My favorite outdoor activities, I'm a scuba dive instructor. I love caving. I'm also a cave diver, so anything that's like under something is where you'll find me, like a little salamander. So I'm super excited to be part of this program.
Thank you, Kendra. I've got Maya next.
Hi everyone, my name is Maya. I'm calling in from Garwood, New Jersey. I just graduated from St. John's University with my bachelor's in political science and a minor in art history. I've interned with the National Park Service on 3 separate occasions, and I'm really excited to get back into something I feel so passionate about and to have classmates who are also as passionate about the outdoor recreation sphere as I am. When it comes to outdoor activities, I like a little bit of everything, but lately I've been the most obsessed with trail running and hiking, hammocking as well. Yeah.
Cool. That's super cool. Thank you, Maya. Brian.
Hey, everybody. My name's Brian Sundberg, and I'm calling in from Boulder today. As a matter of fact, just right across town from you, Pilar. I have a bachelor's degree in biology and have been out in the workforce for, I don't know, 30 years, and just really drawn to the program to try to work with cities to create opportunities for citizens to get on trails and really get out and sweat and experience life. And I know that a lot of communities have incorporated that into their master plan as a way to foster business growth and make it a place where people actually want to live. So that's what I'm really trying to accomplish. And as far as my favorite outdoor activities, it's kind of all of the above, pretty much anything, bikes, skiing, and water sport, whatever, anything outdoors. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent, thank you. Karen.
Hello, everybody. My name's Karen, calling in from Colorado Springs, so not too far from Boulder. Just finished a 30-plus year career in the military, so I decided to stay here in the area, background in aviation and acquisitions, so just looking to pivot into something that I enjoy. I love the outdoors. I love being at the base of the mountains here. So that brought me to the program, something local and something I wouldn't have to move right away. And favorite outdoor activities probably right now, hiking, biking, golf, and of course in the winter doing some skiing.
Thank you. Alexandria.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexandria and I am calling in from Denver today. So those who aren't familiar, very close to Boulder, but definitely not Boulder. I in the past went to school got my bachelor's in environmental science and management at UC Davis in California. Really loved it, but it led to a career behind a desk and a screen 100% of the time working in policy, which is great for some people, I'm sure, but left me feeling very depleted. And so pandemic times, ended up pursuing my own thing. And for the last couple of years, I've been pursuing my own business in videography in the outdoors. So a lot of documentation of trips and outdoor adventures, which I've loved, but ended up in this program because I'm looking to make more of a defined career out of that and to hopefully merge my passion for the outdoors, my background in sustainability and like environmental conservation with a more, I guess, defined career path. And favorite outdoor activities, I'd say lately, it looks like I just car camp because that's what I do a lot of because I got a dog a few years ago. But as much as I can, I'm also like long distance hiking. I grew up surfing and snowboarding. So mountain biking, kind of all of the above, similar to a lot of you, it sounds like. But happy to be here and great to meet you guys.
Thank you. Laura, you want to go next?
Hi, my name is Laura Carpenter, and I'm from Parkersburg, West Virginia. My background, I'm a mechanical engineer. I work at a chemical manufacturing plant in the Mid-Ohio Valley here. But my passion, like many of you guys are saying, is for the outdoors, and I want to pivot. And my biggest interest in the outdoors is I enjoy rock climbing. That's my favorite outdoor activity. Also like hiking. I've done a little mountain biking in the past, but rock climbing is my favorite. Oh yeah, Seneca, definitely. But yeah, Seneca is my favorite place to go rock climbing. It's in the eastern part of the state. It's about a 3-hour drive from where I live. But it's a pretty awesome place to rock climb. And I found the program. I was just like Googling outdoor recreation programs, and this is the one I decided on. So I'm happy to be here and glad to meet people that enjoy the outdoors. So thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Fiona.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fiona. Right now I live in DC, but I'm originally from Michigan. For educational background, I got my undergraduate degree at DePaul in Chicago in psychology and minors in global Asian studies and business administration. In the past 4 years, I've been working in marketing. I decided to do this program because I'm looking to transition my career into something more outdoors related. My favorite activities are running, hiking, and I used to be a ski instructor, so I love skiing, but it's been a long time because DC doesn't really have any good ski areas nearby.
You have to come and visit us in Colorado.
Mhm.
Fiona.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Scott, do you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm from Antioch, Illinois, which is a halfway between Chicago and Milwaukee. And my educational background is I was in construction accounting for 30 years. And yeah, and so I've been traveling all around the world, and I left accounting to go do something else. And came across this program, so that was kind of why I'm here. Favorite outdoor activities, hiking, mountain climbing, or mountain hiking, I should say. Trekking is probably more appropriate. Mountain biking and yeah, anything to do with the outdoors is I'm down with it.
Great, thank you, Scott. Zachary? Zach, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Can you hear us? Okay. Oh.
Yes, I hear. Hi, sorry, I'm at work. I just had to duck away to talk to you guys. My name is Zach. I live in Los Angeles. I've worked in film and television production for about 15 years, and for the last few years, I've been ready for a change. And recently, I was in Hawaii. I was on a lava flow with the ocean crashing on it, and I realized I needed to find something. So that night back in the room, I started researching programs, and I found this one and applied, and here I am. So that's my story.
Thank you. And I would say that's how very often things happen in life, right?
Definitely in this case.
Thank you. I've got Eddie next.
Hi, everyone. My name's Eddie. I live here in Boulder as well, right in between both the East and Main campus of CU. I've been here for over 10 years and originally grew up in Michigan. I have my bachelor's from Western Michigan University in psychology and marketing. I originally went into marketing research, and like some others have mentioned, found that a desk job wasn't for me. Ended up landing in the outdoor industry and working outdoor retail, and became a manager with Moose Jaw Mountaineering, and then Trek Bicycle, and then REI. So that's been kind of the main part of my last 14 years has been in the outdoor industry in retail management. And after COVID, got super burnt out and didn't want to be in retail on the floor level anymore. So looking for avenues to move up and just progress my career is what brought me to this program. As far as outdoor activities, having been in the outdoor industry for over 14 years, I've dabbled in pretty much everything. Cycling, gravel biking, and mountain biking specifically. Lots of snowboarding. Being here in Colorado, it's really what brought me to the state was the Rockies and snowboarding, and plenty of trail running, hiking, camping, climbing, all of the above.
Thank you so much. Val?
Hi, I'm Val. I'm calling from New York, so for the city. Background in health and human performance. I work in a bike shop right now. Mountain bikes, road bikes, gravel bikes. So kind of really in parallel the program. Obviously, I don't mind cycling. Talking myself out of a gravel bike right now, that I look at every day at work. But I do for something near the water.
Thank you. Jaden.
Hello. Yes, my name is Jaden. I live in Joshua Tree, California. I'm currently a rock climbing instructor. Love rock climbing. It's my favorite sport. I've been an instructor for 4 years now. I have a bachelor's in outdoor park management. and I'm looking to forward my career path, and so this is kind of the next logical step for me.
Excellent. Thank you. I like your background. Let me see. Am I forgetting anyone? Is there anyone who I'm going back and forth? You guys are moving all the time. So I'm losing track.
Listen up, guys.
Is there anyone who hasn't introduced himself? No?
I haven't gone yet.
Hi, yes, I'm so sorry. I
No,
always
you're good.
forget someone. Sorry, go ahead, please.
It's all good. Hi, everyone. My name is Kylie. I am also calling in from Colorado Springs. I got my recreation management degree at the end of 2020 from the University of Nebraska at Kearney. I'm originally from Nebraska, and I now work at Bear Creek Nature Center here in the Springs. Looking forward to joining the outdoor rec program for love of learning and career development, basically. And then in the outdoors, like everyone, I feel like I dabble in a little bit of everything: photography, hiking, kayaking, trail running, all that jazz.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, there was some noise in the background, so I was.
Yeah, we got the mute on there, so we're good now.
Okay, perfect. I would say, Mark, Dan, and Emma, if you want to introduce yourself now, maybe Emma, and then Dan, and then Mark, so that he can continue with the presentation. Emma, do you want to go and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can go ahead. Thanks, Pilar. So I'm Emma Hoskins. I'm currently in Lexington, Kentucky, and as Pilar mentioned, I'm a current student. But my education background originally was in civil and environmental engineering and public policy. So that led to me doing energy and utility consulting, which was interesting, but a lot of my projects ended up kind of on the bad side of land issues, which led me to kind of pivot here. And also I just love the outdoors. And then my favorite outdoor activities, primarily, at least like this season, hiking, backpacking, and camping. Was panic packing for a trip before this, so but I think Dan, you were supposed to go next.
Thank you, Emma.
Yeah, hi. Excuse me. I'm Dan Cordoa. I'm calling from LA. I'm a current student. And let's see, my background is I have a bachelor's in environmental studies. I've worked in a variety of industries, but before I came here, I was in marketing. I was tired of, just making the rich richer and not contributing anything to our planet. So I just started kind of looking up different programs to make a change. And the ORE program popped up, seemed like a great fit. My favorite outdoor activities, it's why I was late. I was skateboarding. So I love skateboarding, mountain biking, surfing. There's my bike and my surfboards in the back, snowboarding, hiking. Just everything outdoors. So happy to be here.
Thank you, Dan. And now we have Mark.
Well, hello, all. Welcome. So glad to hear you and see you. It's a very impressive group, which is a huge, huge part of the program, right? We learn from one another. We all come from very different backgrounds, and we share very similar passions. I'm calling in from Boulder, Colorado. My educational professional background, I got, like many of you, right? From Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, I got an undergrad in environmental and systematic biology with a fisheries and wildlife concentration. I was trapping wolves in Alaska and diving off the coast of California working for the EPA. But then life took me in a variety of different ways. Professionally, I joke that I'm on my third career. I guess I should finish educational as well. During my career, I got an MBA and a doctorate in large-scale sustainable change. I started, my first career was as a military officer and pilot for about 10 years, flew and lived around the world, flying search and rescue in helicopters. Second career was in the corporate world, which was surprisingly enough until I was able to align that corporate experience, who I was with what I did. My last job, I was the Chief Human Resource Officer and the Chief Sustainability Officer for Vail Resorts. So it was a great 10 years of aligning with the industry and really creating amazing experiences for our guests. And now I teach and consult. So I help lead this program as well as consult a small consulting firm called Adventures in Leading, where we take leaders and teams and get them outdoors and push them just a little bit, make them a little bit vulnerable, then have a real discussion about along a river or around a fire about life and leadership and legacy and culture. My favorite outdoor activities, like so many of you, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. You name it, I do it. None of it very well. Although if I had to choose one, I'd say I'm a pretty doggone good après skier. Now, I've had students say, "What's après skiing?" So if you don't know what après skiing is, it isn't like telemarking or something. Après skiing, look it up. So thank you. Welcome. Glad you're here. I think I have the next slide, right, Pilar?
Yeah, you keep rocking.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, I will talk about our staff and our CERT leads for our faculty. But first, Pilar, why don't you just say a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I think I've talked with all of you, but again, I'm going to be your person to go for really anything. As the program manager of a small team and the growing program, you wear different hats, but for you guys, I'm going to be your go person for questions, concerns. I might not have all the answers, but happy to find it for you or direct you to the person who can help. I can assist with planning your coursework, thinking about the different options you have. I'm happy I put together as many events as I can think might be relevant for you guys. So happy to hear feedback from you as well. And then besides the support that I provide to students, I support faculty. I do in doing some work around curriculum, course scheduling, and a lot of things related to the operations of the program. So a lot of back-end activities, but I love what I do, and it's always different. So that's me.
Pilar does it all. So if you're wondering who to go to Pilar. That's what I do. And I have the privilege of leading the organization as well as leading a couple of the certificates. I lead the intro certificate as well as the leading a sustainable business certificate. Carly, you probably interacted with already. She's our enrollment and communications manager. So everything as it relates to marketing, recruiting, social media, communications. Jordan really helps us all out and helps you all out and is a great resource in terms of how do we begin to, move from the program into careers in the industry, which we all want to do or we want to level up, which are the two kind of common profiles of our students. We're a really unique program. I mean, pretty much everyone in the program has been a practitioner or is a practitioner. Obviously, I gave you a little bit about my background. I have been a practitioner. Yeah, and then you've got folks like Chris Sword, who is a CEO and president level in the industry as we speak. So all of our content is about the industry, which is different than many programs. And all of our instructors are very, very close to practitioners and have wonderful networks and are really committed to both giving you practical applied content and helping leverage their network to help you make those connections. You'll hear more about that later, I'm sure, when we go to Q&A. Next slide, please. Here are our certificate leads. I mentioned that I lead those two certificates. Let me tell you a little bit about Lydia, Natalie, and Georgina. They are our certificate leads, and they have a full staff underneath them of folks that are likely active practitioners in the field. Dr. Lydia Lohan, she has about 2 decades of experience working on natural resource management issues, largely in the greater Yellowstone area. She was working on wolf projects up there for a long time. Matter of fact, Lydia and I worked with the same people at different times. She really has expertise in environmental policy, public lands policy, natural resource governance. She's worked with federal land management agencies related to visitor use management, provision of recreation amenities. She also currently lives in Durango, Colorado. It's an online program, so we can live everywhere, right? Georgina lives in Portugal, so she lives in Lisbon. Lydia lives right now in Durango, and she's the executive director of the Durango Nordic Sea Club. So she's also a practitioner as we speak. Natalie, she leads the Building Resilient Communities certificate. Natalie and I have worked together for a long time. As I transitioned from corporate America, she and I worked together up at CSU, where she led the ski area management certificate. I was leading an adventure tourism graduate certificate up there. She has a PhD in business and economics and a double bachelor's degree in sport and outdoor recreation. She's from Australia, so she brings a really nice international component as well. She specializes in sustainable tourism and recreation. And as I said, she leads our Building Resilient Community certificate. You'll really enjoy getting to know her. She's very practical, applied, really is working very strongly with industry about how do we give students real world experience, both for their own knowledge, building their network, and then enabling them to put that on their resume. Last but not least, Georgina Miranda, as I said, lives in Portugal. Georgina has a very unique background. She's a social entrepreneur. She's gone through the corporate space as well, but currently she's the founder and CEO of She Ventures, which is a social enterprise unleashing the untapped power of women around the world. She's also a coach and consultant. Interestingly enough, she's one of less than 20 women in the world to complete the Explorers Grand Slam, scaling the highest peak on each continent and skiing the last degree of the North and South Pole. She has 3 expeditions remaining in accomplishing that. So all of us are not only practitioners and academics, but we're passionate about our product as well. She has an MBA from Loyola Marymount, and she serves on the board of 1% for the Planet. So, we're all here for you. This is an online program. I get this. This is an asynchronous program, but we, just like everyone in the industry, we're passionate about what we do. We're relationship based. We're happy to connect with one another. So yes, if you need it to be asynchronous and, due to family and time zones and jobs, you got to just do what you got to do. Okay, we get that. But for those of you that want to, get as much interaction and connection as possible, we're here for you. And every one of these folks and all the faculty that work beneath them, as well as the staff or on their teams, are happy to do that as well. So please take advantage of that. Next slide, please.
I need to say something else, Mark. I just can't help it. These are beautiful human beings. They really are. So they are approachable, they are friendly, they are willing to help, they are willing to connect. And so from a very personal human perspective, don't forget that. Yeah, going to the next slide now.
All right, some of the academic expectations. You get out of this what you put into it. I mean, the reality is, I applaud you all for being here. Higher education for me, I got 2 degrees as a adult learner with the family, with the full-time job, and I get it's hard, right? On the other hand, they were life-changing. Literally, those programs were life-changing in ways that I never really anticipated. So you get out of it what you put into it. As far as course workload, we try to gauge the workload between 8 and 12 hours per week. So you can expect that. That has to do with course readings, watching lectures, listening to guest lectures, watching different presentations, contributing to your weekly deliverable. Every week there's something due, completing your assessments, right? So you're going to expect around 8 to 12 hours a week. It varies, some week a little more, some week a little less, but plan for that, right? Be thoughtful about how you're going to get that done. Student engagement, every week, as I said, there's a required submission. Some weeks they're relatively short, like a discussion post where you're supposed to synthesize that week's content and answer a prompt or 2 that are provided to you. and also read your peers' prompts. So we're going to learn from one another. You heard the diverse backgrounds on this call. It's amazing. So yes, hopefully you'll learn stuff, not even hopefully, you will learn stuff from the faculty. And we're going to learn a lot from each other because you have a diverse background, diverse experiences, whether it's in the industry or outside. It's all incredibly valuable and contributes. So you read one another's posts as well, and you comment on a couple of those also. So, and then you also have in every course, you have a couple larger submissions as well. We call those application assignments. And we call them application assignments because they're designed to apply the learnings that you have. They're less about research. Some of them have a research touch, but less about research or more practical applied things that you could use in the workplace tomorrow. Now, what we don't want is just for you to regurgitate everything that you heard. I mean, sometimes in the discussion posts, you can see people just writing down, okay, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this. That's great. And we want to hear your own point of view, right? What sense do you make of it? And how would you apply it? And how would this work in your environment or in the environment in the future that you hope to be in? So we encourage you to really synthesize that and incorporate concepts and trends and datas and opinions throughout. You know, code of conduct, we are interacting with each other in the online space, and we expect just that you be professional, courteous, respectful, and really appreciate the diversity of knowledge and experience that everyone has. We have something to learn from everyone, and that's a fun part of the program. You know, what expectations do I have in terms of students and asynchronous courses? You know, the reality is, as I said earlier, you get out of this what you put into it. It takes a lot of self-discipline. It takes some time management. So I really encourage you to get on some sort of routine, whatever works for you. When I did my MBA, it was largely late at night because my kids were little. I'd put them to bed and then I'd go to work after. When I did my doctorate, it was largely early in the morning. My kids were a little older and I did better in the morning than I did at night. So I would block a couple hours in the morning and do it. Whatever works for you. But, you know, I would tell you to build off your experiences that you currently have and not, try to help us all learn from the experiences, work on real world projects as you begin to engage with the content. How do you begin to really look at things that you're passionate about, things that you're interested about, and begin to follow that thread? Invest time in building relationships with one another. This you've already heard. There's a lot of folks already in the network or in the industry, and that begins building your network, as well as you're going to hear a bunch of guest lectures. As you want to connect with those folks, we're here to help you connect with those folks. The industry is worth it. I mean, for those of you in it, you're likely looking to grow your career. For those of you not in it, you're likely to translate your desire to translate your experiences into it. It's not as linear as, maybe the accounting field, accountant 1, 2, 3, you know exactly what you need to do to move forward. However, get your foot in the door, you begin to navigate through it. When you have the opportunity to align who you are with what you do, you're passionate about, getting out of bed every morning and creating these experiences, being it through product or being it through, different services that we provide. It's a lot less like work, and it's much easier to really engage and really be successful because of that passion. So I think that is it in terms of academic expectations.
Thank you, Mark. I'd like to go over something that probably is very familiar to you, but just to make sure everyone is on the same page. We have 3 semesters for spring and summer, and every semester has 2 sessions, what we call session 1 and session 2, or session A and session B. Each session lasts 7 weeks. And that's the way our courses are organized, by modules. Every course has 7 modules. So the expectation is that the students will complete 1 module per week. And from what I can hear, 7 weeks go by quickly. So it's important that you remain on top of that. There will be a week off between session 1 and session 2 in the fall and also in the spring semester, but you will not have that week off in summer between session 1 and session 2, because you will have it right before summer when spring finish. spring ends, and then right before, after summer, before fall starts. I hope that makes sense. Feel free to let me know. All the certificates have the same structure. They are 10 credit, 10 credit hour certificate. They all have 5 courses. 4 of them are content-based and they are asynchronous. So you can really organize your work in the way that is best for you. But again, the expectation is that at the end of each week, you will submit assignments and you will do the reading and you will complete one module. And the 5th course of all the certificates is project-based. And that one is synchronous. So students meet with the instructor and with other students in the class twice a week. You can take courses in any order. However, the project course has the prereq of completion of the content courses. The whole idea behind it is that you'll be able to apply what you learn into the projects that you will be doing. And so it's important that, especially for master's students, you identify which certificates you want to pursue and you enroll in those courses that fall under those certificates. I mean, it's okay if you want to take more courses, but most of the people are kind of on a mission. So, any questions so far? Okay. This is close and dear to me. If you go to the ORIE website, you will have a navigation menu on the right-hand side, and there is a tab called Dates and Deadlines. Please keep that in mind because that's where you can find the deadlines to drop and be 100% reimbursed, 60% reimbursed, or 40% reimbursed. I understand that there are a number of students who, this is the first time you're taking courses with the programs. So you might think who can do this much or you are not sure. So you have a number of deadlines where you can still, drop your course and not being too badly and financially hurt if you do it within the certain deadlines. So please make sure you visit that page, that web page, and take note of those deadlines, because once they pass, you lose your money, which is not an idea. Let me see. Next one is, this is something new that we are introducing starting in fall 2025, and this really applies again more to the master students, those who are pursuing a master's degree. So the way it works is that they need to complete 3 certificates, and one of them has to be the introduction to the outdoor recreation economy, and they can choose the other 2 ones. And as I said before, all the certificates have 4 content courses and a project course. However, starting in fall 2025, we are introducing a new project course that is going to be semester long, and it's going to give you 4 credits. And that semester-long project course is going to replace, if you choose to take it, that long project course is going to replace the 2 short project courses of the 2 certificates that you choose. It's a lot of words there, but let me see. The next slide is going to kind of visualize what I'm talking about. So you can see on the left-hand side the current situation. And on the right-hand side, you can see the upcoming situation as from fall 2025. Again, I hope this makes sense. Open to answer any questions, anyone?
Well, and here's why we're doing it this way, right? Instead of doing 2 shorter project courses, which, 7 weeks goes fast. And so we were not always working with industry partners. And the idea here is, hey, let's combine these. Let's make it longer. Let's make it a full semester to really allow you all to dive into content you're interested in, work with an industry partner, build relationships, get something you're able to put on your resume, and really begin to sharpen your saw in terms of how you want to proceed in the industry. So it's for your benefit. So if you have any questions, let us know.
Thank you, Mark. Okay. Mark introduced before, Jordan, who is our career advisor. He's gonna work with anyone who reaches out to him on a one-on-one basis, doing some sort of coaching. And these are the different areas he will be working on with you. So again, feel free to reach out to him. He asks that before you reach out to him, you enroll in the Career Development Campus course. I will get to that in the next slide, so bear with me. But that course has a bunch of resources and information that will help you meet with him in a much more efficient way. His information is on the website, so you can easily find his email address. And if not, again, feel free to reach out to me if you want to engage with him.
Laura, there's a question in the chat as well. Is there a calendar somewhere that will that outlines start and end dates of the sessions for the whole year?
Yes, there is, and I've been sharing that on the welcome emails that I've been sending to you all. But I'm happy to send it to who is asking the question. Yeah, I'm happy to send it to you, Eddie. Not to Fiona. I'm happy to send it to you, Fiona. So I'll send it to you. But we have that information. Okay. Resources. So we have the orientation and the careers development course. Especially those who are not familiar with Canvas, I highly encourage you to take some time and become familiar with the navigation, with the features. So these two courses are self-enrolled courses. You only need the link. Again, it was on the welcome email I sent you, but let me know if you don't have it and want to check them out. This is the course, the career development course is the one that Jordan would like it for you to go through before you schedule a meeting with him. It really has a lot of valuable resources and information that really is going to prepare you much better for that meeting. So let me know if you don't have the link so that I can share with you. We did it last year and we are going to do it this year. We invite industry leaders to talk with you. And the way we do it is that we have one industry leader in each session, and we try to really touch the main areas of the outdoor recreation industry. It's a very casual kind of ask me anything where they basically share their journey, how they landed the jobs they are, what they are doing, and really remain open for your questions and your, engage with you in any kind of conversation. All this information will be shared with you primarily through the chairlift. So that's probably something you want to keep an eye on. Something that I want to right now encourage you to do is to answer the FCQs, the Faculty Course Questionnaire. At the end of each course that you enroll, that you take, you're going to receive that FCQ. That's a great feedback for us. It's a feedback about the course, about the instructor who taught the course. And we take that feedback very, very seriously. So it's not a waste of time whatsoever. We really read it and really plan for actions and execute and follow up on those feedbacks. So please take that time, which is not really much, to fill out that FCQ at the end of the courses you'll be taking from now on.
Yeah, just to second that, right? I mean, we're here to serve you. And so we really, really take that feedback seriously. Matter of fact, we had an all-day faculty and staff session yesterday where we went through FCQs, we went through the student survey, we do another student survey as well. And that really decides how we proceed, right? We look at what are we hearing? What are the needs? What are the gaps? What are the things that are positive? What are the things they'd like to see more of? And then we try to deliver on that, both from a curriculum standpoint, but from a student experience standpoint as well. So we do take it seriously, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, we do. Some other program resources. So you have the some popping up.
And just while we're paused for a second, someone said I was able to access. Karen said I was able to access the orientation course The MENV ORE course said access denied.
Okay, I'll follow up on that. Thank you. All right. It shouldn't say that, so I'll have to look into that. Some other resources. So most of you, especially those who haven't been, who have been admitted a long time, some time ago, you must have received the chairlift. That's our program newsletter. It goes out on a monthly basis. And it's really a combination of program updates, relevant conferences happening in the outdoor recreation industry, upcoming events. We're going to try to highlight the current students as well. So whatever comes our way that we think is relevant for you, we will share through the chairlift. So again, take the time to read it. And it's going to be sent to your Colorado email address from day one of classes. So again, that'll be your the best way for you to check that out. We have the jobs newsletter as well. It's another bi-weekly. So it's meant to really give you a glimpse of what kind of current jobs are in the market, what kind of current job opportunities are in the market. So we organize them by certificates, we organize them by level of experience. We might be reviewing the way we present this content, but for now, this is how it is. Again, very welcome. I will always welcome your feedback if you have any other ideas about how we can do this. You have the ORAE, the Slack workspace. Again, the link was in my welcome email. And this is really a space for you to connect with each other. My understanding is that the space has different channels, whether you can join a channel based on the certificates you are pursuing, based on the areas where you live, there is a general one. So this will be a great way for you to introduce yourself as a new student to the other students, for instance, and connect with others with whom you may share some hobbies, some interests in common. Mark said it before. This is a very relational industry. It's important that you build that network, and you can start with each other. Before you know, you'll be playing important roles in the industry. So this is a great opportunity to do that. And then we have the MENV/ORAE networking LinkedIn. This is a LinkedIn group, and it's mostly the whole intention is really to post timely sensitive jobs. So, those jobs who have a very close deadline that is going to be passed by the time we send the jobs newsletters, those will go to that LinkedIn group. So another opportunity to connect and be current with what's up in the market. And all these links were on the welcome. Again, if you don't have them, if you lost them, I'm happy to share with you. Any questions on this? Okay, I'm checking the chat. Is there anything else? So there is also the join Basecamp Outdoor. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they do. All right. This is something super exciting and totally optional, but we are doing an in-person retreat. We did it last year for the first time, and it was a huge success. And we are doing it again this year. It's going to be the weekend when you'll be off between session 1 and session 2 of fall semester. Again, we acknowledge not everyone is in Boulder, not everyone has the means and the time and the interest to come. But if you do, we would love to see you around for the whole time, for part of the time. We are doing it this year over the long weekend, and it's going to be a combination of industry visits. It's going to be a combination of socials. We'll have happy hours and dinners and outdoor activities. Last year we did We volunteered with to do some train maintenance work, which was super fun to do as a group. And this is actually a photo that we took of some of us last year. We also have some working sessions where we kind of town hall where we invite, to brainstorm, to share experiences, to hear updates, and to really engage in good conversations to really for the benefit of the program and for the benefit of everyone. So we also invite industry leaders to talk with you. So it's a bit of everything. And again, more than anything, it's a huge opportunity to build community and to have fun. There will be more information coming your way with agenda and more details. For now, we have put together a Google form to kind of have a sense of how much interest there is out there. So it'd be great if you can RSVP. I will be sharing that again on the chairlift. That was supposed to go out tomorrow, but it's going to go out next week just because.
We do a few other in-person types of things too, which are all optional, right? At the end of the day, this is an asynchronous program, but a bunch of ORE students are doing the 4-pass loop out through Aspen area this next weekend. We've had ski weekends together up in Steamboat. So there are, and even regional things where folks we have a large proponent of our population out in California, where folks in California get together. When we travel around, I just got back from a conference in Asheville, North Carolina. We try to invite students to come together. So we try to give those opportunities as well when it makes sense, but they're all completely optional, voluntary based on your life circumstances.
Yes, and of course, if you happen to come just on your own to visit Boulder, Colorado, let us know because a bunch of us are here as well. All right, so moving on to the last part of our gathering today is really hearing from Emma and hearing from Dan how their experience has been so far. And I've put together a couple of questions to ask them, but again, by no means don't stop yourself from asking questions. And this is to me, this is the best part. I mean, this is where you come in and you can really start making your mind about what to expect and hearing from them, I think is the best. If I were you, that's what I would like to do. So anyways, so one question would be, what is the one thing that the students should know as they start their journey with the ORE program? Either Emma or Dan, if you wanna.
I can go first. What was the question again? I'm sorry, I got distracted. I've had a long day.
What is the one thing that the students should know as they start on the program?
One thing you should know.
I can go while you think, Dan, if you want.
Yeah. Give me a second.
I think one thing for me, just because this is something I've struggled with, if you can look at your schedule and plan ahead, how many courses you want to do at a time, and try to look at the certificates, because a lot of these courses are only offered once a semester. So for context, I personally took a semester off, so now I'm double timing it on some courses, which is keeping me busy. But then also it is what you make of it. Pilar kind of alluded to this, a lot of our current students are at very different places in their lives. Someone in one of my courses right now, he was like, this is my first course since the 90s. And then some people are recently out of undergrad. So everyone's at a different place in their life. But a lot of it is kind of what you make of it. I'm going on this backpacking trip this weekend with some other students, but I wasn't able to make the ski trip, but you can kind of pick and choose how involved you want to be and when you want to be involved, which is part of the flexibility with the online course. But as a lot of you alluded to, we're all outdoorsy minded, so it's not very difficult to connect with one another in that sense because we have similar passions.
Yeah, it's yeah, you know what? I just thought about it. I think when I was here a year ago, or not even a year ago, when I was in the orientation, I was like, dude, I don't even know if I know how to run a paper. It's been 10 years since I've been in college, and my undergrad I squeaked by, and I don't think it's as intense as I thought it was going to be. I think I've been like excited for like every assignment, which is not me at all. Like every paper, I'm like challenged in like the best possible way, and all the professors I've had thus far have been so awesome. Like just very very welcoming for like office hours, which so talk to your faculty. They're sweet.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And I want to say Dan has been helping us this summer as a GSA. He's the one behind the jobs newsletter, among other things. So kudos to Dan. And he's taking lots of courses in the fall, and he's going to be super busy. And Emma is joining us as GSA as from the first day of classes. So you will be seeing them around. And I'm very excited to have worked with Dan and to be working with Emma. So, all right, other question. Any advice that you have for incoming students besides what you said? Is there something in particular that you think, I wish I knew that before. I wish someone told me, someone would have told me this particular thing that would have made my life much easier or...
Yeah, I can go first on this one. I think like taking advantage of it, that the majority of the courses are asynchronous. So I always thought like in the beginning, I thought I had to be sitting down for like every lecture, and I had to be like in front of my computer, like reading, all the reading assignments when I realized like, wait, I can like re-listen to lectures like over and over again. And that didn't click in my mind. I was like, oh, like I could be like cooking dinner, and like listen to a lecture once and then go back and like listen to it again if I missed something. I was like, oh shit. Like, I don't know why that like dawned on me. Or when I was like sitting, like if I like take the metro and like I can like read an article like while I'm sitting on the metro, or I don't know, like little things like that. I just didn't, I don't know, like it didn't click for me. I don't know why. I guess because I just came from just going to a traditional, college where I had to like show up to class if I wanted to hear a lecture, where like everything's like recorded and like right there for you. It's like, dude, they got an app on your phone, dude. Like Canvas has an app and it's pretty good. I've like submitted comments, you know what I mean? Like on my phone, before I go and do whatever, on like a Saturday morning. So that's what I got.
Yeah, I think one thing too that I've always tried to do, Mark, you're very good at this, but a lot of the professors would be like, set up time so we actually put a face to the name, like not just through most classes just do like a written student intro, but like it's always better to like get to know someone at the start of the course than halfway through and be like, oh, by the way, that's me. That's something that's helped me a lot. I bother Mark a lot. So, but it's nice to just have that relationship, like one as a professor, but like two, like just to talk about like skiing and trips and other like hobbies. But also like a lot of these courses, like especially even in the certificates that aren't the intro, like you can kind of follow your passion and like those other routes. Like if you're in a policy course, you're not like stuck in policy and like just Arizona. Like you can explore it in your hometown or your area and kind of like follow those interests as well, like within that realm.
Well, one, you're never a bother. And two, I said it briefly earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Yes, it's an asynchronous program for those that need it to be asynchronous, but this industry, and many of you are already part of it, is passionate, is relationship based, wants to help one another, and our faculty is the same exact way. So, for those of you that want that connection, any of us will do everything we can to help you. So don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, very true. Another question is, tell us about your experience in the classes. What the new students should expect. Did you feel like it was easy, it was more challenging at the beginning with the first few courses, and then it became easier? Did it have to do with the subject? Did it have to do with your expectations, your time management skills. If you can elaborate a bit about that.
Yeah, I think this has been touched on a bit, but like 7 weeks does go by really fast. I will say too, like I was working corporate America like 40, 50 hours a week and doing coursework when I first started. So I think just like sitting down and looking through your syllabus at the start and what those deadlines are is really helpful, especially those. Usually there's like 2 or 3 application or bigger assignments each course. And like in my experience, those take like a lot bigger lift than the discussion questions. So like you can work ahead. Like I'm in a course right now and it's a project course too, and I've still like managed to take 2 backpacking trips and be completely out of service. So like you can make it work. You just have to like have that time management and look ahead. But the courses are fun too. There's some good challenges and you learn a lot along the way.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off of what Emma said. Definitely looking at the syllabus, because I think like the weeks that are just discussions with like and submitting a few comments, like reading peers, other peers like discussion posts, those weeks tend to be like a little bit lighter. But then when like those application assignments, like the bigger, papers or projects that you work on, what I found like really helpful, what I learned very quickly was like when I saw those were kind of coming ahead, I would, get a jump start on, like a discussion prompt or two, so I can start working on that bigger project, that bigger paper. And sometimes that was just doing research. Like I would just kind of compile, I would like come up with my idea and be like, okay, I'm going to write about this, or I'm going to do a project about that. Or, there's one project that you'll find out in Mark's intro course where it does take some time to, if you want to get a jump on that, like from the gate, because, like we've mentioned, 7 weeks does go by quick. So, planning ahead and, realizing like you can actually, get a jump start on some work if you have like a lighter week and you want to, kind of move a little bit, fast. You just want to make sure that you don't forget about the assignments that are due those weeks, but you can kind of move at your own pace, which, yeah, I think that's good.
So to add on to that, we recognize that this is a professional program and you all have lives and jobs and families and different obligations, and we're willing to be flexible with you as long as you coordinate with us in advance, right? Of course, if an emergency happens, we'll deal with that. But, we want you we're going to hold you accountable actually to sticking to the timelines and all that. And if you reach out in advance and say, look, I've got this big work project, I've got this family obligation, we'll work with you, I guarantee you. So just be proactive, like Dan says, just be proactive and think about it. And not just, 3 days later when we're reaching out to you and saying, what's up? Saying, oh yeah, I forgot or whatever. So
Yeah, I can confirm to what Mark's saying. I had to do that for one of Natalie's classes. And
it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. We get it. We want you to be successful. If you're successful, we're successful. So just work with us, communicate with us.
Thank you, guys. So I guess the next question will be about what is something that really surprised you from the program that you didn't see that coming, or it was totally like, wow, what?
Dan, do you want to start?
Sure. What surprised me, I think what surprised me was how quickly I felt comfortable, like within the program, like within the courses. I think because, and I'm sure just like hearing everybody else's like background, like having a passion for like outdoor recreation, like maybe it's because I'm older now. And when I got my, my bachelor's, I was like young and I could care less about school. It was like, C's get the degree. But, now like in my 30s, like pursuing this, this degree, it's like I I thought I was like, dude, I hope I just pass these classes, and I have gotten straight A's somehow. So that's been the most surprising thing, is that I've gotten straight A's. I've never gotten straight A's in my life. Like, I'm swear, grade school, high school, I mean, shit, I barely graduated high school. I barely got a bachelor's degree, and somehow, professors like Mark and Natalie have, given me like really good grades. So,
Well, yeah, but it is, to be clear, it's because you deserve it. And the reason you deserve it is that you're passionate and you're committed and you're connected and you're working really hard at it. And that's the difference, right? Is that, I mean, oftentimes in our undergrad, half of it is general education that oftentimes we don't really care a lot about. And we had a GSA that recently attended one of these and said, you know what? There's a lot of reading, there's a lot of work, but you love it all, right? I mean, you're really genuinely interested in it and you're passionate about it and you pour your heart into it. And so, it's different. I said it earlier. It's different when you're in your career, when you're aligned who you are with what you do. Same thing in your education, and everything about our program is about outdoor recreation. So I've got an MBA. I'm not going to poo-poo MBAs. But if you get an MBA degree, yeah, you're gonna learn about stats, you're gonna learn about accounting, you're gonna learn about finance, you're gonna learn about marketing, but it's generic, right? I mean, and yes, we're not an MBA, we don't go that deep on those topics, but everything we talk about is outdoor recreation related. So the passion that you have for it just makes it feel natural, easy, enjoyable. You're really committed to doing the work. So Dan, you're not giving yourself enough credit. You're doing the work. That's why you're getting the grades. Emma?
Yeah, I've had similar conversations with a lot of people when I first started this program. I'm like, school's fun again. And my friend was like, yeah, that's because it's grad school and you're like actually making those choices and not just going with the flow of it. But to answer the question, something that surprised me, kind of one thing, like people are really interested in like the outside world of like what this degree is because it is quite unique. Like I was able to pivot my career. I didn't touch on this earlier, but I currently am a climate and resilience fellow for the National Parks Conservation Association. And like if you know me, like I'm obsessed with parks. Like this is my dream job. So like I was able to like make that pivot, which is really cool. But also like people are funny because they're like, are you like a guide? Like, what does this mean? And it's a really interesting conversation starter. Because there are so many different ways you can touch the outdoor recreation economy, but also like just within the program, like the mentorship from the professors, but also like the community. Like I love just like emailing Mark and Natalie and picking people's brains on different things because it's nice to have that mentor in an aspect that you really love, but like also like potentially professional world as well, which is fun.
Great. The last question from me for you guys is, can you share your favorite project or assignment so far? Something that you really put, as Mark said before, all your heart and really enjoyed it and didn't feel like it was homework.
Yeah, I can go. So Mark, I think it was the intro course actually with Mark. We just got to like research a topic and I had an ask at work that I didn't have time for with my work hours. So I actually spun it into like a work assignment project. To do it briefly, essentially looking at timed entry in national parks and the economic impacts on communities, which one of my coworkers had asked me to look into, and then actually convinced me to submit it for a conference. So I'm actually speaking on that paper now. So that paper has kind of gotten legs and is all I talk about now. But that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier too. Like you can pick topics and make like your homework and your assignments like something you're passionate about as well. And it can go farther than just turning it in and being done with it.
Well, and I tried to say that earlier, and many of us enter this program with saying, I know I want to be a part of it, but I'm not exactly sure where I fit. And so there'll be a discovery process, which is okay. And some roads will lead to dead ends. I've had students say, I want to do this, and I connect them with people doing that, and they realize, oh, I don't want to do that at all, right? And so that's okay too. But eventually, this discovery process will probably begin to bear fruit. And then, like Emma says, how do you begin to take all your projects, all of your writing, all of your research, and align it with that? So you start gaining experience, you start building your network, you've got stuff to put on your resume. And next thing you know, we just had a student that, she was an attorney, hated working in law, transitioned into the industry in law. We supported her in that. She didn't really want to do law, but it was a nice way to get her foot in the door. Ultimately, now has taken that to the next step and is working in policy with not OIA, but with
ORR.
ORR. Thank you, Outdoor Recreation Roundtable, which is her dream job, right? So, I mean, she did that because she did exactly what Emma's saying. Begin to put your work and your energy and your efforts and your network around that. And before you know it, you've created your own reality. So we encourage you to do that. And we're here to help you kind of figure that out.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And so it's hard for me to choose because honestly, I've really enjoyed, like everything, like all the papers I've written. There's probably only been one discussion or two that I was like, I don't really care too much about, but I wrote about it and I learned something from it. But for environmental law, I wrote about the Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area, which like I live in LA and I mountain bike this area like a lot, and I've hiked this area like a lot. And learning about the history, I like in the area that I spend so much time in and I appreciate so much, and that contributed to like hundreds of thousands of people in this major metropolitan area. Dude, it was so awesome. Like I love like learning about it. I love like getting into like the all the laws and like the things that kind of led up to it becoming a national recreation area. It was like just one of my favorite papers, and it was long, and I also wrote like a sustainability proposal for the authority for the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, the Mountain Recreation Conservation Authority, which is, the actual like authority for the Santa Monica Mountains. And that was like a 20 something page paper. I loved it. Like I wrote that for Natalie, and oh my gosh, like I had so many discussions with her about it, but just being able to like go that deep and like learn that much just brought the nerd out in me. I have another favorite one, but I won't take any more time.
Guys, it's really great to see how much you've invested in the program, how much joy you get out of the program. And it's great to hear, for me at least, the connection that you are building with the faculty in the program. So it's no joke. They are really there for you. They are really very, very approachable and very responsive. So I really hope you have a similar experience with them too, and with me. Well, I think those were the questions from me. So this is, I don't know, no one has asked any single question. I hope someone has some. We have about a bit over 10 minutes left. So the floor is yours if you want to ask any questions or share any concerns, any thoughts. Yeah, Maya.
I was just wondering if there's a required reading list, or is that something that will be provided to us once our classes are uploaded to Canvas, or
The second.
what does it look like?
Is a second. There is no required reading, and all the readings will be provided through the course. So you will see that when you have access to the course through the syllabus and the schedule of classes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
And essentially, the courses you have access based on the university the Saturday before they begin. And yes, we provide everything to you. There's a rare exception every now and again where we ask you to buy a book or something, but 99% of the time it's all provided. And we just talked yesterday as a faculty, we want to start opening courses earlier to students as well, just to give you a jump on it. And so we just told them yesterday, so I don't know how well we'll do starting a couple weeks from now. But in the future, our goal will be to open the courses, maybe a week in advance, just to give you an early peek. And but we ramp up slowly too, and begin to give you a slow warm up. And after you've got one or two courses under your belt, you know how it works, and it's easy. So.
And I can say that Natalie is going to open her course on Monday. So those taking her course 5018 will be notified, and will have a whole week to go through the course material.
I have a question. Should we have access to Canvas now? Is that in the welcome email that you sent? Should we already have that downloaded? I know that, Dan, you were saying that a lot of that is on the app. What steps should we be taking right now to get ready for the semester?
You will need to set yourself up, which means you will need to have your identity, your Colorado email address, your password, and that's gonna be all you need for now. The moment you get access to the Canvas course, you will be notified with the link to it, and that's how you get to it. You could very, very well, as I said before, you could, take your chances and navigate and become familiar through the orientation Canvas course and the career development Canvas course. And let me know if you don't have those links. I can send it to you.
Is that in the original welcome email? So I did go through and get the identity key and all the items like that. And I'm not exactly sure, because I was just in there and they were saying that it didn't pop, the emails from CU didn't pop to my other email addresses. So I think it said something that it was just supported by Microsoft now. Can it pop to Gmail?
Yes, and I'll send you the link that has all the information about how to forward that to your Microsoft now. Yeah, to your Gmail. Yeah.
To my Gmail. Right. Okay. And then they will be sending out, I think I've gone through the steps to register, but then will tuition invoices come out, or have they already come out? Maybe I'm a little late on that.
No, you're good. Tuitions will be, the due date is going to be September the 5th.
Yeah.
The bills, they should be available for you to see on your BAF portal. But the due date is September the 5th.
Okay.
For fall.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions, comments, thoughts? Yes, Karen.
Mentioned at the beginning to plan ahead because not all the certificates are offered each semester or session. Honestly, I didn't look past the fall. How far out can we look at planning? Does it only go through like the summer of 2025 and then we have to wait for the next academic year to kind of plan what that might look at? Or is there a good forecast so that we don't miss out on certs that we need because it's not offered?
Yes, I would say you should plan as far as you can based on what you know today. So if you know what you want to, the certificates you want to pursue, you should assume that the course schedule will be, if not the same, very similar to the current year. So you can plan based on that. The caveat will be, well, the new edition of the long project course that we are offering in fall 2025, that is not shown in the current academic year because we are not offering it this fall. And I'm always happy to take a look at your course planning, Karen, and see if there is something that looks odd or whatever.
Yeah, to reiterate, we offer every single course every year. So you can expect that if you could take as many courses as you possibly could, you could get everything done in a year, which I think is very difficult to do, but you could because they're all offered. Now that we've had amazing growth, which is excellent. All the intro courses are now offered twice a year. And going forward, as we're seeing more and more courses reach capacity, we're going to start offering more sections of those too. So it's only going to get better, but every year you can count on everything being offered. And as Pilar mentioned, we try to keep the same schedule. The only time we have to vary for that is, let's say, we have a faculty member that's he's been a long-term industry professional. He's graciously spending his time imparting his wisdom with us and our students. And he's got a long trip planned to Australia. So we've moved just his course around one section just to enable him to do what he's going to do. So that's unusual. Most of the time they'll be offered in the same cadence.
Yeah, apologies for the confusion. That was more just like I took a fall semester off. So like to graduate when I was intending to, like I'm taking 2 courses each session this fall, and usually I was going on like a 1 track. So if you take time off, you'll have to work to make it back up, basically.
What else?
How are office hours set up during the semester?
Yeah, it's a great question. We are required from a university standpoint to publicize office hours, and we all do. However, with an online program, I've just found it doesn't really work. I sit on Zoom for an hour and nobody shows up. So what most of us have defaulted to is we publicize office hours and they're absolutely available, but we give you a Calendly link where you can schedule time. So if you don't schedule time during that, we're not going to show up and sit there on Zoom. But we're available to you. The reality is the way most people connect with their professor is one, they just shoot them an email and say, hey, Mark, I want to connect with you. How's Wednesday look? And, we coordinate. 2, you have my Calendly link. You have everybody's Calendly link. And, for me, the way I run mine is all my afternoons are open for meetings, and you just pop in anytime and you see, oh, Mark's available tomorrow at 2:00. I'm going to set it up and I'm there and you're there and it's all good. So, yes, we have them, but we're available much more than just that.
Where's that link at? Do we have access to that now? Or?
Yeah, well, you'll find it on our syllabus, and you'll find it like on our email, usually on our email signature block. You can click in there. So yeah, as soon as you have access, but if you want to connect with any of us sooner, you can also just go out to the website and get all our email addresses and just shoot us a note. Hey, I want to connect sooner rather than later.
Just a follow-up question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, is it possible to start in the latter half of the fall semester for the October 21st one if you were to do the intro to ORE 5000?
The intro to the ORE 5000 is offered in session 1 of fall. If you wanted to start in session 2, you will do the Leading Sustainable Change in the ORE 5002.
Okay. Yeah, so the intro course is offered twice a year. All the intro courses are now offered twice a year. So that is offered the first half of the fall and the first half of the spring. So those are the 2 times you could get that. But yes, you could start. You don't have to start in any particular order. Of course, it'd be wonderful if we all have kind of a preferred order. And for the intro cert, the intro course would be a great way to start. But you don't have to. I mean, they don't build on each other necessarily. They're all interconnected, but we try to make it as flexible as possible to meet your schedule. Like Emma said, if you got to take time off, you got to take time off. If you're doing something fun and traveling for a while, great, go travel for a while. If you got a big work project, fine, take a session off. I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that, you have some limitations. I think 4 years to complete the master's. Is that right, Pilar?
Yes.
But other than that, you have flexibility to work within that. And even with that, if you were to petition for some unique reason, I'm sure we could work with you.
And what's the best way to communicate? I know I've been getting emails for the chairlift and for Slack, but is there a backbone that you guys use that we need to log into to be updated on things, or is that going to come from the Canvas app? Will it become more apparent as we get into the program a little bit more?
So faculty will have announcements on their courses whenever they need to update or say something to you, communicate with you. And as a program, we use the chairlift or specific emails sent to you whenever we need to communicate something. So really,
Okay.
just checking your email. That's what you.
Okay. So the fact that I'm getting this Slack and Chairlift, does that mean that the CU Boulder emails are bouncing to me? Or I guess maybe I should just look into that more with that link that you sent to me. Sorry, I just don't want to miss communications because I'm wading through 1,000 other emails and miss it.
No, you're good, Brian. Yeah, I will be sending you the instructions on how to forward your Colorado email to your Gmail.
Okay, great.
And that should be all you need to do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
We try not to overwhelm you with emails. Polaris really keeps us on task here. Instead of sending out, one every day, we try to, if they're not time sensitive, really put them in the chairlift. However, your instructors in the course will more than likely be doing announcements through Canvas. So you don't have Canvas access yet.
Got it.
But that's the way every week you're going to likely get the beginning of the week. Hey, here's what the module's all about. Probably midweek, early on, they're going to say, hey, don't forget this is due, at least early on, not all the way through. After they grade stuff, hey, we've released this. Here are the folks. Here's why folks did particularly well. Here's some of the gaps that we saw. And then they're going to send, just kind of timely, relevant stuff too. Like, hey, did you see this latest thing that came out about this latest legislature? Or did you see this latest really cool opportunity to attend this online seminar? So you're going to get a lot of stuff through announcements as well, based on the course that you're in. And then Pilar is really going to manage that programmatic stuff as well, inviting you to, the student retreat, inviting you to join us for a guest lecture that we're having live with an industry professional, things like that.
Okay, we are on time. Any very last minute questions? Anything else? All right, well, it's been great spending this last half an hour and a half with you. You know where to reach us. You know where to reach Mark, to reach me, to reach Emma. I'm talking for them, but I'm sure they will be happy to answer, to connect with you. Again, join Slack if that's something that you like. Feel free to introduce yourself and start connecting with the students in the program. It's a bunch of guys like you, so it's a really nice group. Thank you for spending this time with us, and looking forward to reconnecting on the 26th.
Yeah,
welcome everybody. I'm sorry, did someone say? Go ahead.
I was just saying, feel free to hit me up on Slack or wherever if you have questions or,
Slack, by the way, is completely for students. So no faculty or staff are involved in that. That's just your communication channel. And then the other channels we've already talked about. So you know where to find us. Don't hesitate. Excited to have you all. Really impressive group. And I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Really
Ciao.
quick question. Could I ask everyone
Yep.
before we all leave? Sorry.
Yeah.
This is coming out of left field. I am a second GSA grad student assistant with Carly, who's not here today, and I'm helping out
sorry,
with.
Alexandria.
No. That's okay. No, the only reason I'm even bringing it up is because you might have gotten an email from me earlier this week. If you did not, you might in the future, but I'm trying to gather some photos and stories from students present, past, and future, which would be all of us, myself as well, just joining now. And I thought it could be fun if you guys are willing. If not, you can turn your cameras off, but maybe to get a new student smiley little screenshot that I could share just on our LinkedIn to say welcome to all the new students. If you don't want to participate, that's totally fine. You can log off or turn off your camera. Does that sound okay to everybody?
Go for it. Yeah. All right. Look
All
at
right.
that. Look at those
Big smiles.
good-looking
This is
folks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Wait, was that link you sent? You sent that email for that Google Forms. For some reason, I don't have access to it. I don't know why it won't let me
It only opened on my phone for me. It was freaking out.
I'll try on my phone.
I'll take a look at the privacy. Shoot. Yeah, no, thank you for letting me know. I'll take a look at that. And for those of you who might not have gotten that, hopefully I'll be getting your email soon from Carly. There's like a lot of privacy stuff, so it can be difficult sometimes to share that information, but it was just a link to a Google form that I sent out. Takes about 5 minutes, asking about what y'all are involved in, whether it's a passion project, a work project, anything outdoor rec related, career related, or just stuff you guys have been up to this summer. Because I think it'd be really fun to share all of your awesome adventure stories or career related stories to inspire everyone else in the program and also hopefully future students to find it as well. So that's all that was. If you haven't seen it, hopefully it'll be coming to you in the next couple of days or weeks.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck, everybody.
Bye-bye.